Hello, everybody. We're here for a wonderful day with Kay Corman, who is right here next to me.
Good morning.
She's our wonderful ScanNCut educator at Mulqueen Sewing, and today we're going to unbox the Brother ScanNCut SDX230DX. That's the brand new Disney version of the ScanNCut. But just know that there are two models available. This one is the Disney version. There is also a model 225DX that this class will pretty much help you as well. So I think we're going to start at the very beginning. Is that what I hear, Kay?
We're going to start at the very beginning. It's like Christmas in February. I get to open a box, a brand new ScanNCut.
So this is our first ever unboxing of a product. So we're hoping that we can do it justice with my camera angles and that. So we'll be adjusting as we go along, and just kind of hanging out just for a quick moment just to make sure that everybody is joining in. If you don't mind to say hello, Kay, and let us know where you're watching from in the comment section. We will draw a winner later for a $25 gift card from Mulqueen.com. If you don't mind to just comment hi to Kay and let us know where you're from, and we will pick a random winner there. Also, for registering, we will be giving away, okay, would you grab that? The calligraphy set. We're going to give away one of the calligraphy sets today. So hopefully you have your ScanNCut already. We're going to give away one of these away. It's about a $65 value. So we'll pick a winner a little later on that. And we're also going to give away a gift card to a lucky winner who registered for the class. You didn't have to register because we are here live. We're live on Facebook and YouTube. Let's see. So the registration is over, unfortunately. So if you haven't registered, it's okay. We're still going to pick winners from people that are watching live. See all those people saying hi to Kay. We have Cher from Peoria and Lynn. But jumped so fast, she's in Clarence, New York. Wow. Pamela's in St. Charles, Missouri. There's Janie Demery. She says hi, Kay. Rainey Brown. She's from sunny Mesa, Arizona. That's where we are. Okay.
Right.
Did you have to shovel any sunshine this morning?
No, I didn't have to shovel it, and it's only going to be 79. Is Margaret Wells here?
Oh, that would be wonderful. There's Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Bruce. Bruce is our local artist that has Bruce Allen Designs with those wonky houses. June from California, Brentwood, California.
Wow.
So that was both coasts.
That we got it covered.
Yep.
Wow. Can you believe it?
There is a little bit of a height difference between Kay and I. But I don't know if you noticed that yet, right, Kay?
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Kay's bending down.
Yeah. Kay's getting old.
Okay, how long have you been using the ScanNCut?
How long has it been out? The very first time. I used to use a silhouette, and the minute the ScanNCut hit the floor, I said, I want one.
Oh.
And somehow that just happened. I just bought the first one. Has it been 7, 8 years?
Probably has, yep.
I think it's been 7 or 8 years. And the nice thing about the ScanNCut was that they said you could cut fabric. So it was wonderful. It's what we all wanted to do.
Yep. I think that everybody is here. There's Pat Miller from Queen Creek. So there's, let's see, 100. I won't tell you how many people are out there, Kay, watching.
Oh.
Kay's a little nervous, but she is going to be awesome because she knows this product. This is her pride and joy. She loves the ScanNCut, and we love that she loves it because she is a great teacher. She's going to do a fun unboxing. I can't wait.
Mm.
Are you ready for this, Kay?
I am ready.
Yes.
Now,
Okay.
I know that not everyone has the brand new machine, but I want to unbox this. I asked Darren if it was okay if I unboxed it because I want to show you what comes in the box. You may have previous models and you may not have everything, but if you don't have everything that's in this box, guess what? Here comes an advertisement. You probably can purchase it through Mulqueen's, and all the ScanNCut items, accessories are on sale on the Mulqueen website this week. Right, Darren?
That is correct.
Right.
Mulqueen.com.
So are we ready? Because I want you to see what comes in a brand new box. If I can get the box open.
Okay, I am right here if you need any help.
Okay, thank you, Darren. The very first thing we're going to look at, did everyone get one of these? This is, you get a free project. Where's the camera? You get a free project. They walk you through your very first project, and this is the information. This is talking about the Disney collections, and let me tell you one other thing. If you do not have the Disney machine, if it does not have a D on it, you say, but I want to do Disney. You can purchase Disney designs to cut on your ScanNCut. You don't have to invest, but of course we would like for you to buy the Disney, but you don't have to. You can purchase cards from Mulqueen, and they will cut on your machine that is not a Disney. Is that clear as mud, everybody? You understand what I'm saying? You can cut the Disney designs if you do not have the Disney machine.
You do that with one of those cards?
Yeah, one of those cards. I don't think I brought any of them in. But you can purchase a card to cut Disney. It will cut Disney. And this little box, this is your power cord. This is what's going to make it happen. This is called the Day of Electricity. And Darren went out and got one of the cards to show you that you can purchase that. And you can cut Disney on your machine that does not have a D with it. Down to the nitty gritty. This is packing. Brother takes great care in packing all of their equipment. Oh, that's my microphone cut. They take great care in packing it to make sure it arrives safe and sound. Here is, and of course I've got it backwards. Isn't this fun? Darren, this is so much fun. I wish I could do this every day.
It's like Christmas. We got a new toy.
It is. Now, one nice thing about the new ScanNCut is the screen. The old ScanNCut, like the 650, you had to really kind of mess around with it. But this has such a nice screen. It pops right up. It pops right back down. Another nice thing about your ScanNCut, you have little drawers where you can keep your accessories. This is so nice. You don't have to worry about losing them on the table. See how well it's packed? In this little plastic zip-it bag. This is a pen holder. This is a pen holder. Can you see this? Where am I?
Yep,
where's the camera? There it is. A pen holder, and it comes with 2 sets of pins. This set of pins is your water soluble and your air erase marking pins. These are just marking pins. Makes beautiful birthday cards, anniversary cards, get well cards. We can put these right back in their little plastic container, and we can close this. Also, in your little drawer, you get some tools. This is a spatula. It also, on the back, if you have a spatula, look at the back of your spatula. It has a little foam piece. You can use this for changing the blade if and when you need to change the blade. This is a stylus. This is a stylus. And for some reason, it grows legs and moves around. Moves around. One time there was a girl that came to one of my, I used to have classes over in the clubhouse.
Whatever your case.
Huh?
Let's zoom into that for you.
I used to have classes over in the clubhouse. And there was a girl that came to class one day, and her husband had drilled a tiny little hole in the end of it. And she had strung a ribbon through it. Because it does, actually, I've seen the legs pop out and walk around and land in the trash can. How many of you seen that? So we don't want that to happen. That's just a suggestion. How am I doing, Darren?
You're doing really good.
Am I okay?
Yep.
I'm still alive.
We just
Okay.
need one more camera, but we promise we'll get one more camera angle.
Okay,
as time
just a
goes on.
second. I've got another bag to open. If I can quit shaking. You also get 2 blades. You get a tan one and you get a black one. The tan one is your fabric blade. This is what you use to cut fabric. You cut vinyl. You cut cork with this. But you have to remember to take the cap off before you can install it. I'm going to put this back on for right now. The black one is for doing paper, for doing cards, birthday cards, Easter cards, get well cards, whatever. So you do have the 2 blades. One of the really super nice things about the new ScanNCut with the old one, see, I have experience with the old one, and I'll keep referring to why this is so much better. It has an automatic sensor. The automatic sensor, are we okay?
Yep. I was just going to move it to this one.
I'll show you when I'm going to do some cutting, and I'll show you. With the old one, we always had to do a test cut to make sure we had the blade properly set. With the new one, you'll see it when it's in action. It measures the mat, then it goes and measures whatever you have on your mat, and it sets the blade for you. It is just, this is just, I can't tell you how nice it is and how easy it is to use. I'm going to put these back in here. Did we get anything else in the box, Darren?
We got those items there.
We got applique, iron-on applique contact sheet. I think this is one of Bruce's favorite items, right, Bruce?
Bruce Allen. Yep.
Bruce Allen. I think this is one of his favorite items. He does lots and lots of applique and lots of ScanNCut. All of his projects are they use the ScanNCut, and he just loves this. He orders it by the truckload, I think. Oh, and this is a rhinestone kit. This is one of my favorite things. You get just a sampling of the rhinestone kit in here.
Okay.
Yes, sir?
I don't mean to interrupt, but please don't make fun of me. But as I was...
I'm not making fun of you.
When I was younger, I used to like the Rhinestone Cowboy movie.
Did you like the rhinestone?
Yeah,
I
I
was
don't
so
know.
sad when he died.
I don't know why I liked it so much, but
Oh, I'll have to do a rhinestone. Also, what comes in here, this is, what is this?
Okay,
Oh, this is a universal pen holder.
is it repositional on the mat?
What?
That's what Bruce
Oh, that
You
meant
said, is it repositionable on the mat?
I'm sorry.
I'm guessing that because it was Bruce Allen asking.
This? Yes, you can put this down and then you can reposition it on the mat, I do believe. Right, Bruce? Bruce is the expert with this, so I'm going to have to call on his expertise. You iron this on the back of your fabric, and then you can reposition it on your hoop, which makes it wonderful. This is a universal pen holder. You can use a small barrel pen in here, and you can do marvelous things. We did in one of my classes, I'll tattle on myself. We used an embossing pen, and we put the embossing pen in the universal pen holder, and we made some of the most gorgeous Christmas cards using the universal pen holder. You can use gel pens. You can use just about everything. This is a marvelous little toy. This is a nice accessory to have to add to your collection. Rhinestone Cowboy, huh?
Yep. Did you ever watch that movie?
Oh, yes.
You know, it was actually Urban Cowboy. I'm sorry.
Oh, was it?
Urban
Wasn't the
Cowboy.
Rhinestone
No,
Cowboy?
it was a song. The song was called Rhinestone Cowboy.
Who was the guy that sang the Rhinestone Cowboy?
The Glenn Campbell?
Yes, Glenn Campbell.
That's what it was. It was a song. I'm sorry. I was confusing Urban Cowboy with Rhinestone Cowboy. Can you use the pen holder for the hold that glue pen? Have you played with that yet?
The glue pen?
Yeah.
No.
Nope. I'll have to,
Is that in the calligraphy kit?
no, it's an optional.
Oh, I haven't done that one yet.
What's in there?
I don't know. It's another package I get to open. It's so fun. Let's see what it says. As soon as I can find the inside. Isn't this fun? Is everybody finding all of this stuff, or part of the stuff, or some of the stuff? Oh, this is your vinyl cutting blade. This is your vinyl cutting blade. It has your activation code. Speaking of activation code, you really need to get a free account, Canvas Workspace. All of these added accessories you can access them through Canvas Workspace, and I probably will be talking a lot, saying a lot of things about Canvas Workspace because I use it quite frequently. When they started out with Canvas Workspace, it was based on their computer system. Now you can download it to your own computer, and when it was based in their computer, you were constantly getting the message, oh, sorry, can't connect now. Sorry, circuit's busy. Now you download it in your computer. And that would be maybe another class, Darren. The Canvas Workspace. Each month they have 5 free projects that you can download. It comes with the cut files. It comes with a PDF file telling you exactly what you need and how you need it. But anyway, this is you access all of these things through Canvas Workspace. This is your vinyl cutting blade, and this is your access code. Same thing with your rhinestone kit. The rhinestone kit that comes with it.
May I ask how to get to Canvas? Do you go to brothersews.com?
You go to, just do a search for Canvas Workspace.
Okay.
And it will come up and it will tell you can download to your computer. You download it and then you unzip it and then you hit the exe file and you've got Canvas Workspace. And it's so fun.
It's free.
It is free. They give you a free computer program. It gives you much more editing capabilities. Your ScanNCut is a wonderful little computer, but it does have some limitations. If you haven't tried Canvas Workspace, go look Canvas Workspace up on your browser, and you will find it.
You definitely want that for your ScanNCut.
Yes, you have to have it. You have to have it. Also, if you haven't updated your system, updates are free. you want to go to Brother Solutions. Brother Solutions. Type in a search for Brother Solutions.
I'll get that for you, Kay.
Thank you, Darren. Type in Brother Solutions. When you get there, it will ask you for your model number. Type in your model number, and very, very, very clear, concise, really great instructions how to download and how to update your ScanNCut. Okay.
What's in there?
Ooh, this is your rhinestone. These are your rhinestones. Oh, this is so much fun. I'm almost getting over being nervous. This is so much fun. So much fun. Okay, these are the rhinestones. Here's another little brush. The rhinestone process is a 3-step process. It's one of my favorite things. You have to have a rhinestone template. This is your rhinestone template. You cut the rhinestone. What it does, it cuts little holes. Cuts little holes. Let me show you. What little girl wouldn't love to have that? That's rhinestones. So what happens is you cut, and we do this on the Disney designs are not resizable. So you'd cut your template with this. It leaves little holes, what you want, little holes. You sprinkle, you put that, and then you take that off, put that on a backing board. I used a cereal box last time that for the backing board, but they give you one here to use temporarily. You put your template on your backing board, you sprinkle your rhinestones down, you use your little foam brush to move the rhinestones into the little holes. 95% of them come right side up, what they're supposed to. Then you use a transfer sheet. A transfer sheet. Maybe this is a transfer sheet. You put the transfer sheet, you expose the sticky side, cover the rhinestones, lift up the transfer sheet with the rhinestones, take it over and you put it on your item. You iron it with, you have to use like either parchment paper or applique pressing sheet. Don't use a pressing cloth. Ask me why.
Why, Kay? Oh, right.
Because when you put the iron on a pressing cloth and you put it on this plastic, the plastic adheres to your pressing cloth, and then the pressing cloth goes in the trash. And that's what happened.
You know, this rhinestone stuff, there's so many steps. We should do a class on that, huh?
Just on rhinestones?
Maybe if enough people comment they would like to see that, we would have to do a rhinestone class.
It's fun, fun, fun. It's very contagious. When you get the rhinestone kit, now, I looked yesterday and I didn't see any, but Darren said the rhinestone kits are on order. Will they also be on sale, Darren?
Yes.
Okay. They may not be listed. Are they listed on the site?
It should be under event specials. There's a ScanNCut section. And
okay.
Then, there's everything. There's, I think, 4 or 5 pages of ScanNCut accessories.
Ooh, okay. And they're all on sale. So that's the rhinestone kit. It's so fun. It's so fun. And you can create your own rhinestone template in Canvas Workspace if you have activated that.
There's a lot of people saying they would like that, so I think that we're in trouble now. We better do a rhinestone class.
Okay. All right. Jared, did you introduce Jer?
No, not yet.
Oh my gosh.
Our DJ.
We have Jer over here. He's the brain. Oh no, I didn't say that. Did I say that, Jer? He pushes the buttons and makes all of this happen. Any questions, Jer?
Margaret Wells said she's out there. So
hi, Margaret. What's your temperature today? It's going to be 79 here. Did
Like-
Margaret say what it is?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay, we're still unpacking. We're still unpacking. It has, I told you, Brother takes a great deal of pride in making certain that their product arrives safely. So you want to take off this little paper.
May I just say one thing? I'm
Yes.
sorry. There's a lot of people that want the rhinestone class. Just make sure that you maybe join our Facebook group. It's Mulqueen Social, or subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell just so that when we do go live, you'll get notified. If you don't already get our emails, because we'll also notify everybody that there's a rhinestone class here down the road.
Is that my job security?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I was kind of worried about that.
I just want, if somebody's interested in it, we would like you to be able to know
Okay.
that it's happening by kind
Okay.
of-
Well, they will have to purchase the rhinestone kit, and they will have to access, sign up for Canvas Workspace. They'll have to activate their card. And if anybody has any questions or problems, you can contact me through my personal email. And I think most of you probably, I sent a preliminary email out, not really an email, an information. And I included my email address, but I do respond to questions via email, and it makes me feel good when I can answer a question or two, and I have some answers.
And Jer will post Kay's cell phone number up on this.
Okay, I told you one of my favorite things to do is the rhinestones. I did this with the Disney. I also, I saw this on, I don't have any creativity, no imagination, but I make up.
That's cool.
This is the reverse of the rhinestone. This, I used glitter vinyl,
Oh, cool.
and instead of pulling the holes out, I left the holes in. So this appears to be rhinestones, but it's glitter vinyl. It was kind of fun. This is something else you can do. This was a shape that's built into your ScanNCut, and I just filled it with rhinestones. I told the workspace that I was going to fill it with rhinestones, and then I just took the negative space away and I left the holes, and it appears like rhinestones, doesn't it?
That does.
Isn't that fun?
Hey, you're going to have to stop showing stuff. We're going to have all these classes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Darren. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Now, one of my other favorite, let me show you something else we did in class. Something else you can do is, what's it called?
Etching.
Etching, glass etching. Can you see?
Let me try to.
There's
Oh, there you can see there.
cookies for Santa.
I'm not Santa.
Oh, you're not Santa? That's something else we did in one of my classes. We did the glass etching. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun, Darren?
That is cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
I put that.
Is that another class that we might have to do?
Glass etching. That one, we don't have to have any special anything. We can just use lettering, any lettering. You do have to have some stuff. Now, I have an 8-year-old granddaughter. One of my other favorite things. I have an 8-year-old granddaughter who is the apple of her daddy's eye. And I created this using glitter vinyl. Daddy's girl. Notice I didn't try to put it on straight. Why? Because I did that on purpose. I kind of slanted it so it wouldn't appear to be crooked. So that's another thing. I do want to show you one of the favorite things. You can do something simple, very simple with your ScanNCut. This is a built-in design. This is a built-in design. See how it's all welded together, so it makes it very easy to cut and to weed. You can do something very simple. Have you priced greeting cards recently? We can make so many greeting cards using the built-in designs in the ScanNCut. How am I doing, Darren?
Hey, you are absolutely wonderful.
Oh, yeah. Okay. One of my favorite things is vinyl. I want to show you how to... Are we okay?
Yep.
I want to show you how to cut vinyl. Oh, here are the mats. I forgot to talk about the mats.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Poor
I forgot
Matt.
the mats. Oh, my gosh, the most important part.
How many different mats are there?
We have a low-tack mat. This is the low-tack. The low-tack mat is the one you would use for paper products. You have a standard mat. This is what you would use for anything else. And then you have a fabric mat.
What?
Fabric mat is something new that Brother has come out with. They used to give us what was called a fabric support sheet. And we would put the fabric support sheet on a standard mat. Because the standard mats, can I say it, didn't hold up very well.
You can say it. Go ahead, say it.
Okay. The standard mats didn't hold up very well. So when I had the operations class over in the clubhouse, where's the camera?
That big one up top.
Big one on top. When we had the operations class, we would put the fabric support sheet on the standard mat because it was kind of difficult to do. I said for years, they need to do this at the factory. Well, they have done this at the factory. This is super. If you did not get this in your kit, I really strongly suggest that you purchase one of these. And they are on sale. They're on sale, Darren?
They sure are.
Okay, I really strongly suggest. I have a couple of things. Your mats, when they're brand new, they work really, really good. But the more we use them, the less sticky they get. There are a couple of items that I suggest you purchase. And these are not big ticket items. Where am I? What did I do with it?
What is it, Kay?
Here it is. These are big ticket items.
I thought you said they weren't.
Oh, they are big ticket, big ticket. Dollar Tree, unscented baby wipes. After every use, you want to clean your mat with unscented baby wipes, and you can get them from the Dollar Tree. Paper tape, also a Dollar Tree purchase. $1 and $1. I know you can afford them. When your mat becomes a little less than sticky, you can use the paper tape to help stick down cards, paper, fabric, whatever it is you're using. Just such an advantage to have these items close at hand. Also, when you purchase your baby wipes, you want to store them upside down. Keep them on your table, in your drawer, upside down. That keeps the liquid going to the top.
Jody Mason's asking, do the mats come with the machine?
Well, depending on what machine you purchase.
The new ones
The
come with, right?
brand new one, this is just brand new out of the box. It came with all 3 of those mats. All 3 of them.
The low tack.
Low tack,
The
standard, and the fabric. They all came out of the box. Brand new.
You want to talk about the mat they all should buy now or later? Later?
Well,
Yeah, we'll go later.
when are they? Do they want to buy it now? It's on sale now.
Oh yeah, no, the other one that it doesn't come with that they all should have.
The fabric mat.
Nope, the one that has no lines on it.
The scanning mat?
Yeah.
Oh,
Are
the scanning
Are
mat.
you talking about that later? I'm probably jumping the gun. So
That's okay. That's all right. There is another mat that you can purchase. It's called a scanning mat.
Are you going to show that later? You don't have to take it out now because I think you're going to be. I think I'm jumping the gun on you, aren't I?
Well, you're anxious for me to get on with the program.
I just wanted to just know that there 3 mats come with it. And there's a couple that are optional that.
Yeah, there are some options. I'm kind of leery about too many advertisements.
Yep. Kay was telling me that she was watching something earlier or the other day, and it was like advertisement after advertisement, and they didn't get to the point, so she turned it off.
I'm kind of leery about advertisements. This is the scanning mat. It does not have sticky. If you have an applique pattern you want to scan in, it's called a ScanNCut. That lets you scan in if you have an applique pattern with 453 leaves. You can scan that pattern in using it. It doesn't have sticky. It has a cover sheet on it that you can use, and it's marvelous. Also, there is a 24-inch mat. There's one young man that I particularly know of. Jim, are you here? Jim Cully. Jim Cully does heirloom doll clothes, and he uses the 24-inch mat to scan in the doll clothes and to then to cut them. So he's our heirloom doll clothes guru. Anyway, these are purchasable items. I'm just kind of leery about doing too many advertisements all at the same time. I want to show you one of the things that, is anybody interested in me showing you how to cut vinyl?
I did see somebody that says she wants a vinyl class, so you might if you're up for it.
Okay. Vinyl comes in several different varieties, and it just adds so much. It comes in a glitter variety. Can you see the glitter? And it comes in an iron-on and a pressure sensitive. These are not glitter, but they sure do work good for little boys. These work for little girls and mommies and all kinds of things. The thing you have to be concerned about when you're doing the glitter vinyl
Glitter vinyl.
was that a deep breath?
Yep.
Okay. This is the glitter vinyl. Glitter vinyl. It has a hard plastic cover. It appears to be very shiny, but this is just the carrier. When you're doing glitter vinyl, you want to place this face down on your mat because you don't want to cut into that carrier. You want to cut into just the vinyl. The vinyl is very thin. Very thin. How do we show this?
I'll bring it up there.
Okay, very, very thin. See how thin the vinyl is? And very flexible. So that's all you want to cut, is just that. Now, it just so happened, have you ever tried to embroider one of these?
What is that?
That's a onesie.
Oh.
You didn't have little girls, you had little boys. This is pink.
My kids wore twosies.
Oh, your kids were bigger than that when they were born. Anyway, have you ever tried to embroider one of these? Well, I want to show you how you can decorate one of these so easy. Have we got time?
I think so.
Okay. All right, let's go.
So we did lose one of our cameras today, so we're gonna.
We did?
Yeah, it was.
Where'd it go?
Well, I mean, it just wasn't very bright for some reason. It was like very dark, and so we're gonna do our best with the camera that we have.
Okay. I'm going to, I was looking for, as we know, I have some things on my stick. These are wireless also. You can send designs from your computer wirelessly. You can send designs from your luminaire wirelessly if you want to do so.
I'm going to get power to it.
Oh, are you going to hook up my power?
Yep.
I better get a blade put in too. I just want to show you. We're going to go over the menus. Should we go over the menus before we? Yes. I think we need to go over the menus.
Please.
We need to go over the menus before we start cutting. I'm sorry. I got too excited. Okay. I do want to cut some vinyl though.
Okay. This is the SDX230DX. But the 225 screen would be kind of the same layout.
Oh,
right?
absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
The only difference would be that it doesn't have, the 225 wouldn't have the Disney logo or icon on
right,
the screen.
right. The 225, but you can purchase Disney designs to cut on your 225. Okay, this is a mini computer. To turn it on, your power button is in your upper right-hand corner. And you have to turn it on and with just a little bit. I always get over anxious. It is a computer, and when you're turning your computer on, it takes a bit to warm up, right? Just a little bit. So when it starts.
Where's our little stylus for you?
Oh,
it's in the it's in the garage.
Oh, I put it away so it wouldn't walk away because I didn't have a ribbon attached to it.
I'm going to go drill a hole in it.
Yeah, go drill a hole. Ask Vince. Yeah. He's so handy. He is such a jewel. It started up. It has started. So when it starts, then all you have to do is click on the screen to activate it.
I'm going to try to move the camera real quick to a better angle.
All right.
Here you. So I don't want to make everybody seasick anyways. I am going to, sorry about this, folks. Being one camera down. We're going to buy a new camera. Jared's shopping right now for us.
Is Jared shopping right now?
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
I have the DX225. Should I purchase a vinyl cutting kit for it if I want to do lots of vinyl and leather cutting?
Yes.
Okay, so you can purchase a vinyl kit.
You can purchase, there are two vinyl kits. There is just the regular vinyl kit, and there is the vinyl kit with Disney. Of course, as you can guess, the vinyl cut with Disney, it has built-in Disney designs that you can use. It costs a little bit more, but it does have, when you access these additional items through Workspace, you always get free designs that are built in to that program. And you do, if you purchase the Disney, you do get Disney designs. Is that okay?
I probably should have.
Are we clear yet? Are we?
I should have the side buttons too, so they can see if you're hitting those.
Okay. The screen is telling you that it's getting ready to set up. Most of you, I think, probably have an embroidery machine. When you turn your embroidery machine on, it calibrates. It goes, rear, rear, rear. Listen very carefully.
What is it? What was the noise again?
That's the calibration for your ScanNCut.
It sounded different than the noise you had made.
Yeah, no, well, that was the embroidery machine.
Oh, okay.
The embroidery machine makes quite a bit of noise and it does quite a bit of gyration, but this is calibrating it. So on this screen, we have the possibility of doing several things. And the very first, we're going to go into pattern. So if you have your ScanNCut, go into your pattern. These are all categories. First thing I want you to do is go into the very first category. These are all shapes. Over on the right-hand side of your screen, you see arrows up and arrows down. You can go one screen at a time, or you can go all the way to the bottom. You can go down and down and down. Now, I'm not going to go any further. I'm going to go back up to the top. I'm going to select a very simple design to start out with. This is a simple square. In this screen, the screen that comes up, we have the ability to change the size. When you change the size, you can make it larger or smaller. ScanNCut reads several different formats. It reads SVG, Scalable Vector Graphic. It reads FCM. That's the native language of the ScanNCut. It will read PXC, which is a design that you saved from your Brother machine. It will read PCH, which is another format from an embroidery design from your Brother embroidery machine. It will read PES. It will read a PES file. So the new models are just absolutely wonderful in what they will read. So when you bring an item on your screen, you can resize it. When you resize it up or down, it does it. What's the word? I lose words. The same, it does the same. When you make it bigger, it makes it wider, proportionally.
Proportionately.
It does a proportional resizing. It does the same whether it's up or down. That's what scalable vector graphic means, that you can resize it proportionately. If you see the little arrows over on the side, up and down, or either vertical or perpendicular, when you click on that, perhaps you want to make it taller. Perhaps you want to make it wider. When you want to skew your design, that's the button that you use. Also, down here under number, I'm not going to fool around with one of these. I want to make 2 or 3. So you can tell it you want 3 of these. In your ScanNCut, with each screen, there is a little wrench. The little wrench tells you what you can do. These are the tools that you can change. Maybe you want to change your cutting area. Maybe you want it to go from, maybe it came with millimeters and you want to change it to inches. Pattern interval. Maybe you want patterns further apart. These are the things that you can change on this screen. And you just say, okay. Well, that was a little fast. Okay, from the next screen, it said, okay. So from this screen, if I wanted to, I could go back and I could add. I could go back into my shapes. Let's go into this category, the second category. And again, these are all categories. As you can see, the down arrow is lit, so you have more possibilities. We can go into the first one. We can select the moon, and we can do the same thing. We can resize it, whatever we want to do. We can say, okay. Now that's showing me the cutting area, and I'm going to say, okay, that's what I want to cut. So I'm going to bring it in. Here I can change the number. If I wanted to make more, I can still resize it. I'm going to tell it I want to set. After I have gone into add, I can go into the edit button. Hey, Jerry, are we doing okay?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I could go into the edit button. Here you can move. Can you see the red outline? Each item, the item selected has a red outline. You can move from one item to another, to another, to another. If you wanted to group all of these items together, that's what this button. If you need to see it bigger, you can see it bigger. You can, and depending, you can scroll down, you can scroll up, you can go to the bottom. When you're through, you can say, okay. I'm trying to show you what all of these buttons do. If if you just made such a mess out of things, you can group all of the items. And this is the button where you group everything. Tell it okay. And we can throw it. See the trash can? Isn't that marvelous? We can throw it in the trash can and say, okay. How are we doing?
Good.
Are we okay? Any questions yet? Am I too elementary for people?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. All right. Categories. Oh, this one has the Mickey. So we can go into Mickey and we can select out of these categories, we can select any of these items to cut that we want. I'm going to go back. I want to go back. I want to show you something else. See, you can scan. Here is your scan button. Is everybody on their home screen now? And you can see the scan. Here's the scan button. You can either direct cut. If you want to cut a flower out of a particular piece of fabric, you can do a direct cut. Scan to cut. You're going to scan an item because you want to cut that out of something else. Or you can scan to your USB. So those are your items for scanning. Any questions about that? No, okay. All right, there's an arrow over here. I wonder what that little arrow does. Let me push the arrow. These are designs for a roll feeder. If you did not, no, that's not the roll feeder. I had the roll feeder. That's the paper piercing. I had the roll feeder. The roll feeder, anyway, wherever it went to, I guess it grew legs and walked away. The roll feeder, you have to attach the roll feeder. It's for doing the very, very long Disney designs or anything else. If you wanted to do a very long word for your living room wall, you would have to have a roll of vinyl. Speaking of vinyl, you only want to get the best. You don't want to fool around with the bargain stuff. Too much aggravation, too much waste. It really is not worth your time, your effort, or your money to fool around. And it just so happens that Mulqueen carries the very best. I believe it's pronounced Caesar, S-I-S-E-R. We have all different sorts of the vinyl. We have the glitter, we have the iron-on, we have the, are you finding it, Jer? Yeah. We have all kinds of vinyl that you can purchase. And I really, really highly recommend that you buy the best. And ask me how I know that. It is some of the cheaper rolls. They just cause you so much aggravation. And we don't need a whole lot of aggravation in our life anymore. It's hard enough getting through these days. But I think things are getting better. People are getting the vaccinations. And the numbers are going down. My daughter is a nurse practitioner, and she said the numbers are amazingly decreasing, amazingly. So maybe we'll get back to normal soon. So that's what the sheet feeder is. You do have to have a roll of vinyl to use it. So I'm going to go back. Okay to finish. Yeah, it's okay to finish because I didn't start. Let's see what this says on this side. This says my collection. Wonder what's in there. Oh, my collection. Data is not detected. So I don't have anything in this because it's a brand new machine. How are we doing? I want to go through some more screens. I'm going to go back in. I'm going to go through I'm going to select my square again. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to tell it set. In here, we have another wrench. let's see what the wrench does in this screen. This tells you can set up your cutting area, your pattern interval, your background. I'm going to show you how you can scan your background, but not right yet. So we're going to go back. I'm going to say, okay, that's in that screen. Edit. Let's see what we can do in the edit screen. I only have one item on here. Object edit. In this screen, I can resize. We can resize. One thing you have to be careful about, when you bring a design into your ScanNCut, it always places it in the upper left-hand corner. If you tried to resize from here, it would tell you it can't do that because there isn't room up in the corner. So I would need to move the item down onto the mat further, and then I could resize it. And here again, we could do proportionately, or we could do it the other way. So I just moved it. This screen, the number 2 screen, I know they all have names, but I don't know the names, the technical names. Here you can change. You have one more chance. This constantly gives you another chance to change your mind, to do something different. You can say, okay, if you wanted to do more. I'm just trying to show you the different screens and what they do. The third one on the top row, this will rotate. Maybe you want to cut a piece out of a certain piece of fabric and you want it rotated. So you can rotate it 90 degrees, 10 degrees, 1 degree. Let's see what the wrench does in this screen. You can always go in there. The cutting area. So about all you can change is if you wanted to use a 12 by 24. In the background, we haven't scanned anything yet. So I'm going to say, okay. So I'm going to close this screen. Everybody with me? Okay. Any questions, Jerry?
What's the go back button on the 650?
You know, it's been a while since I used the 650.
Yeah,
Um,
you can talk about the 225. Let's worry about that for now. And if she has questions, she can call the store.
I have a 650 at home, and it's been a couple of years since I've done anything with the 650. I'm sorry. I don't remember. I know there is one, but I don't know what it is. I'm sorry. Okay, the next one, the second row on the far left. Guess what? You can draw a seam allowance if you want a seam allowance. You can turn the seam allowance on, and you can tell it how big a seam allowance. If you want 1/4 inch, if you want 3/8, but that's more for quilters. I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to say, okay, I'm just trying to walk you through these screens. The middle one on the middle row. Guess what that does? This isn't a very good example, but this is a flip, a mirror image. You can flip it. Of course, with a square, you couldn't tell I had done too much. The one on the far right, sometimes as we get older, we have a little bit of trouble seeing those fine lines. If I turn the fill on and tell it okay, then I can see what it's going to be cutting. It doesn't change the cut area any. It just gives you a better view of what you're going to be cutting. Clear? I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to turn that off. Going to say, okay. Let's see. What does this one do? This one tells you this would be more for using text for an additional line, a number of lines, additional line spacing. If you were doing text and you wanted to enter some more. So I'm going to say, okay, this is going to group items, only it's not going to group anything because I only have one item on there. Oh, if you wanted a dotted line, if you wanted just to do a dotted line, if you wanted to score something, you would hit the dotted line and the dotted line spacing. And you probably would want to draw that rather than cutting that if you were doing a fold on a card, for instance. Let's look at the tools, see what kind of tools. We've got cutting area and we've got background, and I'll show you that in a little bit. The background. I'm going to say, okay, so we went through the object edit. You see the trash can. You see the wrench. We can move from what the little arrows up and down and sideways. You can move from, if you wanted to move it, see how it's moving? You can move it sideways if it isn't quite in the right spot. So that is that screen. After I'm through with the object edit, I'm going to say, okay. I'm going to say, okay, again. I'm happy with what I have. I'm not going to add anything. I'm not going to edit anything. If we had, let me go in here. I want to show you something. Object edit. I'm going to tell it I want three items, and I'm going to space them out on my screen. I'm going to say, okay. Okay. This little button, and I apologize, I don't know what these windows are all called. If we go into this little window, we have three options. You can cut it the way it is. You can tell it you want it to make the best use of your fabric, and it will rearrange your items for the best use of your fabric. Or if you're using fabric that is directional and you want everything all in the same direction, you can tell it, I want it all cut in the same direction. Everybody okay? No questions. Let's look at the wrench. Is everybody following me? Do you have a ScanNCut? Are you playing? Cut area again. Pattern interval. How close do you want these? And the background. So we aren't going to change any of those. I'm just showing you how to get into the tools from each screen. Are we okay, Darren?
We sure are.
All right. Okay, now I'm going to say, I've got these items on my screen. I'm going to say, okay. Please select. It wants me to tell it what I want it to do first. I can cut, I can draw, emboss, foil, and you see the down arrow is lit again. So let's go down further and see what else we can do. We can foil, glue, or foil. Or we can do the paper piercing. The paper piercing is another creative option that you can purchase. It's more for making gorgeous cards. Can you see? It just does beautiful, beautiful cards.
Here's Jer.
There's Jer. See the beautiful cards that you can make? And that is an additional item you can purchase. It's another accessory.
I think that when Jer gets married, he's going to make all of his wedding invitations with that.
Is Jer getting married?
Yep, I thought so.
Are you getting married, Jer?
Oh, no, I guess not. I'm sorry.
Oh, not
I
yet.
thought there was an
He's
announcement.
buying a house, but that doesn't mean he has to get married.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's having the house built. He's not out there doing the labor. Okay, so
Sorry,
we can.
sorry for the interruption.
We got to have a little bit of fun. We got to have a little bit of fun. Okay. All right. I think we've been through the menus. I've showed you all of these things. Now, are you ready for me to cut some vinyl? Because there is something else you have to do when you cut vinyl.
What is that?
I'm not going to tell till
Oh.
we get there. If you have to sit there and be quiet. You have to sit there and be quiet and listen, Darren.
Okay.
So you will figure it out. Are we okay, Jared? Any questions? Has everybody dropped off the side of the earth, or are they all still with me?
They're there.
They're still there.
Rob? Oh, sorry, my head got on the screen. I didn't know what camera you have on.
Okay. I'm not going to do anything with this. And I think at this point, I've already told it that I want to do something. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go home. And do I want to delete all the patterns? I'm going to say okay. And what I'm going to do now, it's coming on St. Patrick's Day. And in case you didn't know it, I work for an Irish company. I mean, the people that own this company are Irish. So St. Patrick's Day combined with Mulqueen means I got to come up with something Irish. So I went online and I did a search for free clip art 3D, 3-leaf clover, because as I understand it, the 4-leaf clover is not the true Irish clover. Is that true?
Were you talking to Bernie?
I don't know.
Nana also said that.
Somebody said
Yeah, the shamrock is Irish. The clover.
the three, one with the 3.
That's a shamrock.
That's a shamrock.
Okay, so I went on and I looked for free clip art 3-leaf clover. Well, it must have come up with the right thing. So I downloaded it. I downloaded the free clip art. I brought it into my canvas and I did something called image tracing. And it does it. It traces the image. And then I was able to save it from my Canvas workspace as an FCM file. So I'm going to go into my stick. I'm going to retrieve data. And you can retrieve it from your machine, from your stick, from your computer, from your laptop, or you can retrieve it wirelessly. Mine is on my stick. I hope. Oh, that's my update. That's the wrong stick. I was going to show you how to update it too. How am I doing for time? Am I okay? Have I run out of time yet?
I think we have about a lot of time left.
Okay. All right.
You only used an hour.
Oh, darn. I'm going into my stick. And right here is my little 3-leaf.
There she is.
Can you see it?
It's so cute.
Okay. I'm going to say okay. Now, what I want to do, I want to edit this little 3-leaf clover. I want to object edit. Remember when I went into this button? I'm going to tell it I want 3. And I'm going to say, okay. Now it's going to stack them on top of each other, but I'm going to move them apart. As you can see, can they see good? Or do I need to fill in these? Do I need to fill them in with color?
I think it can be seen.
Okay. All right. I want to cut these, but I'm going to click on this one and I'm going to resize it. I'm going into this and I'm going to make it bigger. I'm going to say, okay. I'm going into this one. I just clicked and now I have the red box around it. I'm going to resize it. Oh, no, that's wrong. resize here. Wrong button. Make it a little bigger. And I'm going to move it over here. And here's my last one. And I'm going to leave it alone. This is what I want to cut, because I'm going to put this on that onesie, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to do a onesie. I need a mat. Can I undo a mat?
Yep, you can do whatever you want.
Okay, I'm going to do a standard mat.
Did I leave one on the screen? Are you still working with the screen?
What? I will be.
Yep, okay. You'll use that one, okay.
Because I want to show them how to do some other things. When you take your mat out of the protective paper, out of the envelope, it has a cover on it. Don't lose this cover. It's really, really important that you have this cover. Because we live in Arizona, there is always dirt and sand and dust and grit in the air. So you always want to protect your mat. So here is my mat. I've got my 3 little clovers. I've got...
Okay, let me tidy up for you.
Oh, are you going to do that?
Whoops.
Am I making a mess, Darren? That's
Nope.
kind of how my house is. Okay, here's my glitter vinyl.
I don't know if you need a flat surface or not. Seems like that would be good, huh?
Okay, here's my glitter vinyl. Remember I told you you do not want to cut through this heavy? You don't want to cut through this heavy. So I'm going to place it face down with this shiny side down on my mat. And this is a very sticky mat.
Which one did you pick?
I picked the standard mat. It's very sticky.
The low tack. Is it low tack, the other one?
No,
No.
the other one is low tack.
That
but
one's more for paper.
yeah, more for paper.
You want me to get a brayer?
Oh, that's something else I wanted to talk about. Is some things that you really, really need. You need a brayer. You need a scraper, especially when you're doing fabric. You need a scraper because you want it adhered to your mat. You want to get rid of all the air bubbles.
I see a bubble.
Yeah, I hear them. Well, I've just got a little space. Now, what I always do when I'm going to cut something, I'm going to tell, I'm going to tell it okay. And okay. Object edit, let's see. No, I want to add. I want to add. When I'm doing anything, I always like to put a box around what I'm cutting.
Oh.
Oh.
Did I do
like
that?
to put a box around what I'm cutting. So I'm going to add, I'm going into my shapes. I'm going into my square, and I'm going to tell it set. It came in, where? Here it is. Here's my shape. I need to edit it. I need to object edit. I need to make it bigger. And I need to move it over my shamrocks. It's still not big enough. I like to make a box around anything that I'm cutting. Then you don't have the whole sheet of vinyl ruined. You have an actual space that you're working with. So now I've got my box. I've got my 3 little shamrocks. I'm going to say okay.
Like a shamrock farm you got there.
Okay, so I'm going to say okay. Now, if I just had a small piece of vinyl, I want to make sure that it's going to cut properly. So I'm going to say, okay. See the oven door? I call it the oven door. It just looks like an oven door. Somebody referred to it as a computer with a disk going into it, but oven door just makes so much more sense to me. And everybody remembers oven door. I'm going to scan my mat.
We're going to switch to that camera behind you.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right here.
When you are putting your mat into your computer, into your ScanNCut, you want to be very careful.
Okay, we're on this side now. Yep.
When they're little ridges, and you want to make sure that this is between the little ridges, down under, over on here, you want to put it on 2. This little lever on the side, when you're scanning your mat, you want it on a 2, I think. Okay, and you kind of want to give it a little help. Don't just leave it drag like this. If you hold it up, once these mats get crimped, if you don't get it in straight, it's really very difficult to get them uncrimped. So you want to do everything possible that you can to preserve your mat. That's why you want to use your unscented baby wipes after every use. The third button down on your screen is your feed button. I'm going to feed, and it says, where'd my thing? No, I don't want that. I just want to scan. Okay, it says scan the mat. That's what I want to do. I want to make sure everything's going to cut in the proper place. It's going to scan, and then I want to show you something else. Don't go away yet. Holy cow, I can't see anything. Well, there's a fix for that. I'm going to say, okay. Oh, no, I needed to go into my tools. See my tools? Background. If I click on the lighter background and say, okay, then I can see the background and I can see the image. Did you see that happen?
Yeah, that's cool.
Isn't that cool?
It's because the scan is so dark of that.
It is, and I did that on purpose so I could show that feature, that it's okay. Now, it's kind of on the edge, so I'm going to move it down.
We can't see.
You can't see, my head is in the way?
Yep.
My big fat head?
Uh-oh.
Sorry. Okay. It's pretty good the way it is. So I'm going to say, okay. Now I'm going to tell it wants me to select. I'm going to tell it I want to cut. But remember I said you only want to cut that top layer. You don't want to cut through the bottom. So I'm going into my tools, and I'm going to tell it on the next screen, half cut. See where it says half cut off? I want the half cut on because I just wanted to cut through the top layer. Okay?
That sounds good.
All right. Just
Half cut on.
Half cut on. Now I want to go back up because I like it. The default is set at 5 for the speed and 5 for the pressure. For some reason, I changed mine to 3, and I'm not sure what the reason is. Wrong way. I changed my speed and my pressure to 3. Something I just got in the habit of doing when I had my 650, when I was using 650. I always changed my speed and my pressure. How we doing?
I think it's.
Is it ready to cut?
It looks like it.
I've got my fabric blade in because I consider this fabric.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Am I ready?
I think so.
Okay, remember one thing.
Put on your-
Anything that can go wrong probably will go wrong.
Do we have to wear a seatbelt?
More than likely. So are we ready? Are we ready?
I think so.
Okay, I'm going to tell it okay in my tools, and I'm going to tell it that I want it to start.
Oh,
It's measuring the mat. It's measuring the material on the mat. And listen how quiet it is. You can't even hear it running. You can't even hear it. And I just selected something pretty simple. Just because. I'm going to have to weed it. You are going to need, now see it's cutting the box.
Did you bring your shovel and stuff to weed? Oh, you mean you're not talking about weeding outside?
I'm not talking about the backyard.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I'm going to say, okay, it's finished cutting. I'm going to hit my load button and I'm going to unload it. Now, it's a lot easier to weed while it's still on the mat.
Where are you going to weed it at right there?
Can you move with me?
I will.
There was a very kind-hearted person who used to come to my classes when we had classes in the clubhouse. She made this for me, and inside she went to Harbor Freight and she purchased all of those little weeding tools.
Is that for like a dentist?
Huh? Yeah. Well, from Harbor Freight, I don't think it would be for the dentist. But that was what one of the girls in who used to come to my club when we had club. Isn't that pretty? So I'm going to weed. First of all, oh, and your mat will only go in one way. I forgot to tell you that. It has to be fed in this way.
We also have different weeding tools here, just in case.
We have weeding tools here?
Yep.
Okay.
This one is like, you know, that Quilter Select
yeah.
ruler that's weighted?
Oh,
or the
yeah.
rotary cutter that's weighted?
Yeah.
This particular weeding tool is weighted kind of in that same fashion to help.
Really?
We can't see what you're doing here, but
How do I get out of the way?
I think I just need to aim it down on you. There's your box.
Here comes my box.
That is really sticky, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is sticky mat.
That's a big box. It's bigger than I thought it would be. Barry Jones is asking, do you change the speed to 3 for everything you cut or just vinyl?
I change it to everything.
Alice Harder is asking, don't we want to mirror image?
If it were words, you definitely would want to mirror image it. Good point. Thank you, Alice.
What did you get at the dollar store to preserve the mats besides the wet ones?
Unscented baby wipes.
Was there something else?
The paper tape
Oh,
helps.
paper tape? Is that like for bandage, like keeping a bandage on or something?
Yeah, but we don't use it for that. We use it to keep the edges of fabric or the edges of vinyl down because your mat doesn't always stay as sticky.
Would you say that the low tack would have worked with this? Is that a little
Probably.
bit? Is that a little bit too sticky?
Yeah, probably. I haven't had a new mat in a long time. And I use my standard mat at home. And I didn't really think about it when I pulled it out of there.
We have that tack it over and over glue
Yes.
that I've heard great stories about keeping a mat sticky again.
Yep. It works super.
It's called tack it over and over.
Tack it over and over.
And we have it in the bottle. I think
And you
use-
use that.
Is that the carrier?
I need a pair of scissors.
That's
I
good,
didn't
yeah.
bring scissors.
I have one for you.
Okay, where?
There's one.
Okay, now, handy dandy.
There you go.
Thank you, Darren. I'm going to turn on my heat press. It just so happens that Darren has a couple. This is the older model. There is a newer model, but it just so happens that Darren has a couple of the older models that he might be willing to part with.
Oh no, this is actually, it is a brand new model.
Oh, it is a brand new model?
It's just the lesser expensive.
Oh, I thought it was an old model.
I don't know how many of you out there joined us when we did our 6 days of companies, but we had Janome show an Elna press, and it was $999, and that was because that was the only one they had in stock. But we do have 2 of these presses that Kay is going to show, and I believe they're on sale right now for $499 if you need a press.
Okay, can you see? Where's...
Right here. Oh, look at that.
Okay, now, here's the plastic carrier. See, that's the plastic carrier. I've turned the heat press on. The plastic carrier is plastic, so you want to be very careful. I'm going to lay the little shirt down there. I brought my applique pressing sheet, or you can use parchment paper. I brought that too, and like Darren said, I've got stuff scattered all over. Here it is. You can use parchment paper or an applique pressing sheet. Either one. Just don't use your pressing cloth. Going to put it down.
Can you do my sheets on that too, or just the?
You know, when I was a child,
Yeah.
my aunt had what she called a mangle. And it was a big thing. It had a roller on it, and she did sheets, and she did everything. I'm not sure that that was enough, so I'm going to do it usually about 10 seconds, but I had just turned the press on. And there's the 10 seconds.
How do you use tack it over again?
Tack it over and over is a glue, and you want to mix 1 capful of glue with 1 capful of water. Stir it up, and then brush it on with a sponge brush. Brush it on your mat, and then let it dry, and you have a tacky mat again. This is a cool peel. You don't want to take it off while it's super hot. Where can they see? I can see. Okay. I'm going to take, now see, it didn't stick. So it wasn't hot enough. So I'm going to try it again because I hadn't turned the press on to give it enough heat. There's also something else I want to show you about appliques. Have you got to tack it over and over?
Yep, I'm just going to pop it in the screen there. It's the Aleene's. Is that how you pronounce it?
Uh-huh.
Aleene's. $5.29, and you get it on sale on our website.
Works
Or
marvelous. The mats are not cheap, and we need to preserve them as long as we can. I'm going to do this one more time because the press wasn't quite hot enough.
Okay.
Also, your ScanNCut works in conjunction with your luminaire. Did everybody know that? You didn't know that? You knew that?
No, Jared did not know that.
Jared didn't know that.
You can leave it where it was at. So they can see it.
Oops.
And you have a onesie with glitter something or others.
Glitter vinyl.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
they're
so
shamrock.
much easier than trying to embroider those little bitty things, isn't it? All you need, Jer, is a little baby girl, and we got
There,
it made.
Jared.
Okay, wasn't that easy?
Yep. Now let's.
Shall we talk about applique?
Yeah, I like applique because it has your name in it.
Uh-huh. Okay. I started an embroidery. Can we flip?
We're gonna go to the big camera.
We're
and
going to go over to the luminaire. I started an and I need my stick. I started an applique design. This is an older Anita Good design. It was called Snow People. If you belong to All Access, it was several years ago, and I don't feel bad using it. So I had gotten part of the way through.
I'm gonna zoom this in on that screen. Are you okay about that?
Yep. Are we okay? Tell me when we're okay. Does anybody need a potty break before we go into a whole new subject? We're going into a whole new subject. Why don't we?
Facebook user is asking, can you use just an iron or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. You can use an iron, but you don't want to iron. You want to up, down. You don't want to back forth. Clear as mud?
Need pressure.
Yes.
Keep pushing
Up.
down, push down, lift up.
I think that's,
That sounds
is
good.
that press?
Yep.
And this is iron.
Right.
You want to press.
Will you show them what your moves are over here on the big camera?
What? What? Big camera. Where are they?
Here.
Where are we? Okay. When you use an iron,
You
want
want
to move
nay?
it down
You want to whip and then
and count to 10. Lift it up. Move it down. Count to 10. Up. Move it down. Count to 10.
This is the new dance craze as well.
Is that the new dance craze?
Yep.
Okay. And you don't want to peel it right away. You want to let it cool just a little bit, but not a lot. And you do need a protective something, either parchment paper or the applique pressing sheet.
Is parchment paper enough? I guess it would be.
Yeah,
if you
it is.
cook on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I couldn't find my applique pressing sheet for a while, but I had parchment paper up in the counter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was using that. Okay.
10-minute break and we'll be right back. Hello, we're back.
We're back.
Okay.
Right, we're back. We're back. We're back. Okay. I want to show you about selecting cut files on embroidery designs. I'm pretty well known for telling the way it is.
No.
Yeah. And for being pretty honest, my experience in pulling in embroidery in applique designs in ScanNCut, and I will show you, is a little, they have to be very, very basic, very elementary. Most of our embroidery designs with applique are more complicated than just an applique. Now, I'm going to show you the PES file on the ScanNCut, but there is a workaround. I have started the embroidery on this snowman. And this will work on any Brother machine that has a color screen. It doesn't have to be a luminaire. Oh, this one doesn't work.
Yeah, use your finger.
I have to use my grubby little finger. I'm going into my edit color chart. And if you have a luminaire, you're going to have to advance to the embroidery color selector. It will not work in the Floriani or the Isacord or any other. In the Dream, you're automatically in this. When you scroll down, you're going to see a little pair of scissors. First, I want to advance to color number 3. As you can see up on the screen, this is your cut file. Can everybody see that? That's your cut file. So I'm going to tell it, I'm going to click on the little scissor. And if you can see, it's put a cut file in there. I'm going to say, okay. I'm going into memory. I'm going to save it to my stick. There's my stick. And it's saved it. Now I'm going to take the stick over to the ScanNCut, and I'm going to show you the difference between the real applique design and the cut file that I just created. Are we ready to move?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to put my stick back into my ScanNCut. I'm through with that. I'm just going to go home.
Wait, let me get my...
Oh, now I can use my stylus again. Darren's been trying to clean up my mess.
I brought out the vacuum and...
Yeah, he did. He's pretty handy. I'm going into retrieve data. Retrieve data down here. This is my home screen. Retrieve data. I'm going back into my stick. And here is my PES file. Just for giggles and fun, I'm going to open the PES file. This is it. I have 2 choices. This is the applique button down here. I know that's called applique. I'm going to click on the applique button. And it says, well, what have you done wrong now? You can't do that. It says there is no cut information. So I'm going to say, okay. So I'm going into the flower. I know it has a name, but I don't know what it's called. And I am showing you some other things. It didn't do what I wanted it to do. Flower. Okay. Now, we have 3 options. I can select the first option, which is, let me select it, tell it okay, and can you see how many pieces there are in that? Can you see all of the pieces? Where's my magnifying glass? Tell it set.
No, you're in.
I'm going to, there's object edit. There's my magnifying glass.
Let me reposition the camera.
Sorry.
Let me just get down on that screen. There it is. Okay.
Okay, so can you see all of those pieces? It's going to try to cut all of those pieces. We don't want that. I just want the outline to cut. That's all I need. So that's not what I want at all. So I'm going to say, okay. And I'm going to put that in the trash can because that's not what I want. So I'm going back into retrieve data, into my stick, back into my PES design, back into my flower, tell it okay. We have two other options. This is supposedly the cut file. You'll see the weld up in the corner. It's the square and the circle that are welded together. Let's look at that. Let's pull these up. These are the actual cut files that it's showing. Is there anything there? This looks closest, but if I select that and say, okay, set, edit, magnify it, look at all the pieces there. That's not what I want either, but that looked closer, and it might be kind of cute, but that's not the entire thing that I want to cut. Is everybody with me so far? Jer, are they following? Okay, well, that's not what I want either. So I'm going to say, okay. So I'm going to put that in the trash can. I love that trash can. And nobody even has to take the trash out. So I'm going back in. I'm going to retrieve data. I'm going into my stick. Remember when I told you everything that it would read? And I'm sure you forgot it. See the B pocket? The B pocket is where, when I saved the cut file over on the machine, it puts it into a B pocket, and it's the PHX file. I'm going to retrieve that. I'm going into my applique button this time, and there is my cut file. What?
So the other two were just not what you
They
wanted.
just weren't. So I'm going to say set. Now, there is my cut file right there. If you remember, that is the exact cut file that I told the machine I wanted. I could cut it out from here, and it would be just a wee bit tiny, just a little bit. So anytime I do a cut file, I go into my edit. Size, and I hit it. I increase the size 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Because you want enough overlap for that attaching stitch cover.
Jared's cold over there. He pulled on his sweater.
All right. Do we want to cut this? And do I want to continue with my embroidery design?
It was a fly. Okay, so are you cutting?
I'm going to cut this.
Yay!
I'm
Okay,
going to cut this.
let me move this out of the way.
That's not it. That's not my fabric.
So do you need a flat surface?
No, I need a mat. I need my fabric mat or my standard mat.
Who's this Matt you keep talking about?
He's a nice guy. Now see what what I should do? Who knows? Before I do anything else, I should clean my mat because I used it once.
Did you clean it?
Yeah, right. I'm just trying to reinforce what should be done.
You need your brayer.
I need,
Let me get your brayer. Are you bringing it over here?
yeah, I'll bring it over here, Darren. I make you run around and trying to figure out what I'm doing. Want to make sure it's tucked down. I don't need all this fabric on here. I just brought it because what can go wrong probably will go wrong.
When you do the fabric, you should really make it stick to make sure it doesn't lift off.
Yes, you should, because that happened to me once before
And this is
when I
fabric.
was trying to show off.
It's fabric only, so should you use the auto thin blade or auto, what do you call it, thin fabric blade?
Yeah,
Ultimately.
ultimately,
But are you going to?
no.
Because K is what's known as a rebel. K is a rebel.
Because to be very truthful, I haven't taken the time. I work 5 days a week now. Did you know that, Darren?
Do you really?
Yeah,
Where do you work?
I work for Mulqueen's.
Oh, yeah.
I called Pat one day. I had been at home for 4 months, and I called Pat, and I said, I can't do this anymore. I was just bawling. So anyway,
We are very happy to have Kay here.
so I'm here aggravating as many people as I can every day.
Okay, I'm going to get the screen on camera here.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to load my mat.
Hitting the load mat button.
Okay, I've resized it. I'm going to say okay. I don't want to do any more editing. But what I do want to do is scan my mat. So I'm going to make sure that I have the snowman in the right place. So I'm going to start. It's going to scan my mat, make sure I have the fabric in the right place. This is the only machine on the market that has a scanner. The only one. Did it scan?
Irma's asking
Maybe
where
it's because it's white
Oh, you
fabric.
emailed Irma? Okay.
What?
Jackie Lally says, hey, Kay.
Hey, Jackie.
And Judith Alcervasi says that she's so glad that we can get back to watching this again and again.
Oh. Okay, I can't really see.
Mickey Leon says, it's wonderful that Kay is there for all of us.
Who
That's
said that?
Mickey Leon.
Mickey. Wow, that's so sweet of her. It's so sweet. I can't tell you how much I've missed the clubhouse.
Kay, your microphone's on, right? Yeah.
Isn't it?
Okay.
Huh?
Okay, so the other one that I saw there was, will the ScanNCut work with the baby lock?
Yes.
Does
Yes.
it have the same little option? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And Stacia asks, why did you increase the size again on the applique?
Because it actually did the actual cut size. When you're doing your tack down, whether it's a satin, whether it's a blanket, you want the fabric a little bit bigger than your actual cut file, than your actual cut line. Because your satin stitch, your blanket stitch, whatever you're using for your tack down stitch is a little bit bigger, and you want to make certain that your fabric catches. I say, I think probably because, let me go into my wrench.
Marcy Greenberg, maybe we'll have to, actually, if you replay that section, she's asking about setting up the automatic holder and blade for vinyl cutting. But really but if you put the new vinyl auto blade, it's basically just putting it in there just like that blade.
Is it? Yeah. Yeah, it's just putting it in there.
But it's basically the blade itself that's different. And I think there's also a update that comes with it. That new vinyl auto blade is mainly for really, really intricate cuts in vinyl.
Is it?
You don't really need it if you're doing just basic
Shapes.
What you did with the shamrocks and that, you don't need to change the blade out.
That's something else that I saw the other day. If you're doing very intricate designs with vinyl and you're having trouble seeing the weeding, where to weed it, if you will draw it first and then cut it, then you'll see where the lines are, and it makes it much easier to weed if you're doing a very, very intricate design.
So this is like a overview of everything. Yeah. I think after this we'll have to get like kind of tuned into specifics, right? Well,
yeah, I just can't remember everything all at one time.
Well, no, that's a good idea though. Just put your pen in to draw.
Yeah, put your pen in to draw it.
And then take your pen out, put your blade in.
Yeah, and then you can see to weed it on those very, very intricate designs.
How hot should the iron be when attaching vinyl?
Cotton.
On cotton.
Okay.
Suzette Sawyer has been thinking about one of these.
What?
Suzette was thinking about a ScanNCut. Well, we have them on special, $5.99. We're sending out a free roll feeder with the purchase, or this one that we're showing is $8.99, but it has some Disney exclusives built in. Just in case. Is there a 24-inch mat for fabric? Stacia, we haven't seen one yet. Have you seen one yet, Kay?
I haven't.
I think it's right now just the 12 by 12. I'm sure they'll be coming out with a 12 by 24 before you know it. Kathy Wilson likes your idea of drawing your design on the vinyl first.
Sometimes it's really hard to see.
Is the 12 or 24-inch a better option for the scanning mat?
Depends on what your patterns are. Jim Cully uses the 24 because his patterns are large. I mean, for a doll, they aren't that huge, but he always uses a 24-inch to scan in his doll clothes patterns, I think. Right, Jim? Is Jim still there?
Yeah. So if your design, your scanning is bigger than 12, then you would want obviously the 24 at that point. 24-inch mat.
Okay, what I have done, I scanned in my fabric and I made my background darker. Remember when I went in and I made my background lighter a while ago? Well, I made it darker so I could see the fabric. And it looks like I cut it a little bit too short. So there was a fix for that too. I went into my edit screen and I rotated my snowman, because this is not directional fabric. So it doesn't make any difference whether it cuts sideways or up and down. So I'm ready to cut.
Hey, do you have a fix for everything? You're amazing.
No, I just make a lot of mistakes. No, and I try to learn from my mistakes, and I try to think, how can this not happen next time? I do a whole lot of oops. So I'm going to tell it okay. I'm going to tell it okay. Now I'm back at my select button. And I don't know what happened to my stylus. See, it walked away. I'm going to go do the cut. Now, this is a test. What am I going to have to do? I got to take that half cut off because I don't want it half cut in the fabric.
That's right.
I've got to go in and I've got to take that half cut off. See down in the screen, it says half cut is on. I'm going into my tools. I'm going into my next screen and half cut. I'm going to turn it off. And I'm going to say, okay. Now, everybody keep their fingers crossed for me, please. I'm going to tell it start. It's measuring the mat. It's going down to measure the fabric. And it's cutting. And it's through. Isn't that wonderful? I'm going to unload my mat. Now, it's always easiest if you take the mat off of the fabric rather than trying to peel. Look how easy that came off. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm taking the mat off. Can you
Oh, yeah, we need to change cameras there so people can
see how I'm taking this off the mat? And look, it cut perfect. It cut perfect. Oh, I'm so excited. Now, I'm going to take, I get excited when I do something right because I don't do very many things right. Okay.
Somebody had
What?
said how they thought the playbook was very helpful.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the playbook.
I did too.
Forgot about the playbook.
So there is a ScanNCut playbook. Boy, that's a bad image there. The playbook, it's basically videos and full-on instructions.
Now, here's a couple of different options. We could have used something like Applique Wonder on the back of our fabric. We could have used Body Light on the back of our fabric. I wanted to show you that you can cut fabric just as is, off the bolt. So I didn't add either one of those. To keep it from moving around, because sometimes your embroidery foot will move things around. I have invested in glue stick. I invest in a lot of glue sticks.
That's a high dollar investment.
Yeah, it's another high dollar investment. And I hope I don't get any on Nana's tablecloth. But I want it to stay. I'm going to pull this off so I've got it pretty much where it needs to go. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Okay, your mic, I think, is running out of battery here.
Mine is excited.
So here's, yep.
Is that better? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Are they saying yes, no, maybe, or they don't care? Okay, I have loaded my design into my machine.
Let me get zoomed in on that real quick.
I'm going into the embroidery screen. I'm going into my, whatever this is, and I'm going down. That was my tack down for my batting. There's my quilting. That shows the die line where I'm going to put it. I've got it put down there. So the next stitch is going to sew my applique down. I'm so excited. I did this, a trial run at home. And it was, the first one was too little. Now it says it's going to move. I've got it loaded with white thread. I did that, put my foot down, and I have a very bad habit of making sure my fabric stays where it goes. I got reprimanded once for doing that. My fingers in the hoop, so I'm going to try not to do that this time. I'm going to tell it go.
Whee!
Okay, what's the pink stuff on the sides of the hoop?
Oh, that's shelf liner strips.
Shelf liner.
Shelf liner strips. I always use shelf liner strips. I only hooped a piece of no-show mesh, and it keeps the no-show mesh from slipping in the hoop. When I have, I use it just about everything except when I do a tearaway. Anytime I'm using wet and gone, anytime I use no-show mesh, I use strips, shelf liner strips. Again, that's from the Dollar Tree, and I don't know that we have anything here that substitutes for that.
What do you think of that book, Kay?
It's a nice book. It's a good book. For anyone who really is a brand new owner, it starts at the very beginning. It is so thorough.
240 pages with video lessons from a gal named Cindy Hogan.
Yes, and she is excellent. By the way, there are probably literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of YouTube tutorials on ScanNCut. You just have to be careful. Take some of them with a grain of salt, because some of them are a little far out. But Cindy Hogan is on YouTube. Julie Faye-Fan Balzer is on YouTube. She's a paid spokesperson. Angela Wolf is on YouTube. She's also a paid spokesperson. There's all kinds of resources, and you should have my email address, and everybody knows Darren's email address and Jer's email address. I want to thank Darren for giving me this opportunity to harass as many people as I can all at one time.
We thank you, Kay. You should see Kay. She in the store here. Everybody is afraid of her because she has these fingers that will stick in the side of you. Like, we're all ticklish here, so
even Keith is afraid of me. Keith and
Jared's afraid of you.
who's the guy from Anita?
Oh,
Taylor. Taylor says he's afraid of me too.
Yep.
Yeah. Huh? I don't know what he called
I'm not
me.
calling anything mean because Kay will get him. So
I'll get him. I'll get
better.
him. I will get him. Do we have any? Are there any questions? I mean, it's doing the satin stitch, and as soon as the satin stitch is, I don't want to do the whole thing and bore you to tears. But ordinarily, my embroidery machine does not go this fast at home. I personally feel that the stitch quality suffers, but to expedite, I leave it going at a pretty good rate of speed. However, your car has a speedometer that goes 120, and I doubt very seriously that you ever do that. So there's no reason for you. Jerry does it. Jerry says he goes 120 miles an hour. He wants to blow up his car because he wants a new car. Is that right? Yeah, Jerry wants a new car.
Michelle Cooper says she has the playbook, but she hasn't opened it yet. So
well, she needs to open it, and the trick is that USB. That's the fooler in the.
Judy says that you sound like a sweetheart, and she sure is, Judy.
Yeah, right.
We just like to give her a hard time.
I have my horns and my tail hidden right now.
Don,
Jackie's not afraid of me.
Donna is asking what's the difference between the 230 and the 230DX, and it's really just the items that you get in the box. The SDX230 came with a little zippered tool bag. The new one, the 230DX, does not, but it does come with a vinyl blade. So that it's just the same cutter, just different accessories. Is that right, Kay? Fabric Mosaic's asking, when will you be doing doing classes again? And that's basically up in the air. We're trying to schedule something. At some point, we hope to get every day to have some sort of a virtual class, but I don't think it's going to be every day for a while. But we do have tomorrow a Lumineer class with Kathy Brown. It's a Zoom class, so it's not going to be live on Facebook and YouTube. You'll have to register at mulqueen.com. Click on classes, and then you'll see Lumineer class. That's tomorrow with Kathy Brown. If you bought the machine with us, it's no charge. And so we're gonna, if you keep an eye on our website, mulqueen.com, under that class tab, you'll see when new classes are coming. Or if you're on YouTube, subscribe so that you'll get notifications of us going live. If you have bought something from us, we would have your email address, so we're emailing everybody to let you know when something's coming out. Someday we'll have Kay doing classes 12 days a week.
No, I don't think so.
No, not 12 days?
No. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, is this enough embroidery? Do they just want to see? There's some other things that have to be done, but you can see, maybe you can see. Can they see how nice it's fitting?
Does the 225 come with the vinyl?
No, but it is available. It comes with a fabric mat now, the new 225F. There's two different vinyl blades that you can buy. One is your standard vinyl blade, which looks like this. The magic of having it here in stock.
Magic of.
So that's the vinyl auto blade, but you can still do vinyl without this particular blade, but you do need the starter kit in order to get started. And it's mainly, if you can see the whale on there and the intricate cuts that would be on that, you don't want to use the regular blade for that. You want to use a vinyl and a Disney version, which is still the same blade. It's just that you get exclusive designs that you can only get if you buy the Disney version of the auto blade kit. These are finally in stock. If you are doing vinyl, you should have one of these. We have these in stock, which are kind of a cool little bag for tools, and it comes with your brayer, spatula, a nice weeding tool, a tweezers, and another stylus, and it all stores inside this zippered pouch.
Use the fabric mat on the 225.
You sure can. We have it available. The fabric mat you can use on all machines. So if you, it can be used on the 225 that was the original. Now it's a 225F is the new model number. And that to hold your fabric down, right, Kay?
Right.
And it's a high dollar investment.
Yes. I could have used Applique Wonder, or I could have used Eaton Bond Light, but I wanted to show that you could cut fabric with your ScanNCut without any of that. With the 650, you had to have something attached to fabric to get it to cut. You couldn't just cut fabric, plain fabric, but with a ScanNCut, you can, but there are drawbacks. Like it doesn't have glue on the back of it. So I put glue on the back of it. That's just to get it to stay where it's supposed to be in the hoop.
So on as far as the fabric mat goes, that just came out. And as long as you have a DX series ScanNCut, the fabric mat works with all of them. If you're buying supplies for a ScanNCut, if you have the original, like a 650W, a CM350, I think was a model number. Unfortunately, those are considered old school now. They have blades that you have to manually adjust your depth. But now with the DX series that's been out for many, many years, you no longer have to adjust that. It's all automatic. And so be careful when you're buying product that if you have a DX series, that you buy everything the mat will say DX on it, on the packaging. So you don't want to buy a mat that doesn't have DX. And Rainey Brown had originally, earlier she had said about the vinyl blade that once again, you don't need to buy one of the vinyl blade kits because your machine will do vinyl without it.
Right.
It's mainly if you're going to do a lot of it and you're doing intricate cuts.
I got one. I bought one, I think Monday, but I'm not, maybe I just haven't had time to mess around with it. I don't know what I've been doing.
Okay, I'm going to show how this mat, it says DX on it. So we know that it works with the DX series. If it doesn't have DX on it, it won't work. It's all in the coating that's on the bottom of the mat that requires, you have to have the right mat for the right cutter. And if you have any questions, you can always email us, email Kay. I'll give you Kay's cell phone number here before. No, but you can email Kay. It's Corman K, right?
Right.
Corman K at
Gmail.
Because now we're into the embroidery side of things.
I just wanted to show them how perfect it cut out, and that you could.
Yep, and you can do this with any embroidery machine. There's ways of cutting your pieces out. It's just the Brother, since they make the ScanNCut, they make the link nicely between the two. But if you have a Viking or a FOF or any other brand, you can still do applique, and the ScanNCut will cut all your pieces.
All right.
Would you save an embroidery file to a PES for it to understand it, to find the cut file?
I think I would. Yes, I would save it. And most designs come multi-formatted. When you purchase a design, almost everything comes with the PES file, even if you had a Viking or a FOF or a Janome.
Yeah. Or the other B one, Bernina.
Yeah.
Yep. So the ScanNCut will read, it won't read any other embroidery file, only PES, right?
It'll read, right, just the PES.
So you can still use the ScanNCut with any embroidery machines. If you have any questions on that part, please let us know. We're already at the end of it, right? We're gonna draw here for a $25 gift card shortly, and
Yay!
yay! And we have already a couple winners from the people that did register to get in that drawing. Okay, let's see if there's any questions that we can. So use the PES to cut them out. Yes. A lot of people are sharing. Michelle is building a new area. That's awesome. Hey, your
Hey,
mic's
Darren,
not
I'm
working
cleaning my
when
mat.
you talk about Rainey, I think the deep cut is for the older series. I don't know if that's, the new ones are called Auto Blade. So Rainey had asked a question about the deep cut blade. I think that's only on the 650 series, like the previous version. They don't work. Things that are not interchangeable between the old series and the new series are mats and blades.
Right.
Yep. So anything else that you have on an older series ScanNCut, you can pretty much use, like the universal pen holder or the design cards if you purchased any of those.
Right.
The pens and tools, all of that works on the new DX series ScanNCut. It's just the mats. You have to get new mats and the blades.
If we would have cut this on the old 650, there would be marks on the mat. There's no marks on the mat.
Because of the auto blade.
Right. The auto sensor.
Oh yeah. So is this from registering? Okay, so we're gonna do a winner for a $25 Mulqueen.com gift card. You can use it in the store as well, and that's for Sherry Jones. Please email jer@mulqueen.com to get us your email, and we'll email you the $25 gift card. Congratulations, Sherry.
Yay!
And we have 2 winners coming up here very shortly. One thing that we didn't really talk about is the roll feeder. This is pretty much kind of like given out for free right now with the purchase of any ScanNCut purchased. If you see the cutout that's on here, that vine, it's basically for any really long, continuous vinyl cutout that you'd want to put on a wall. There are, if you buy the Disney version, there's 3-foot long Disney vinyl designs that you would have to have a roll feeder using a roll of vinyl, and it feeds it into your ScanNCut. So that's something that we'll show down the road at one of the classes, right, Kay?
Right.
Okay. Yep. Pre-registered winners are Alice Harder and Mary Mills. Press the camera. So,
Am I right in the way of the camera?
nope, you're good. Alice Harder and Mary Mills. Please email jer@mulqueen.com. And if you already own a ScanNCut, you have a choice of either the calligraphy set. If you don't have a ScanNCut, this wouldn't be helpful. And this is for the 2 winners. I will offer both of you the calligraphy set. It's a starter set, and you need that to have the code to go to Canvas workspace to work with your calligraphy set. So you have a choice of this or a $25 gift card. So if you don't have a ScanNCut, you can say, I want a gift card instead. So will you remember that, Jer? And those winners are, again, were they, Jer? The winners are Alice Harder and Mary Mills. If you have a ScanNCut, you have a choice of that calligraphy set or a $25 gift card. Just email Jer. And, okay, what else do we got?
Lunch?
Is it lunchtime? So everybody, Kay's going to have everybody eat. You want everybody to come in and have lunch?
Yeah.
No. Come on in with me, Kay. Kay's trying to sneak out.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's see if there's any other. Changed our screen here. So we're just looking at the comments that are coming in. So it looks strange that we're looking at the side of the screen, but there are comments. All the comments come up on our screen here. And if everybody, Kay did, we could.
Thank you, Darren.
And we're going to do a lot more of these. Just know that this is just the start. We have a lot of things in mind to do. And we have a ScanNCut class tomorrow. I'm not ScanNCut, Luminaire class tomorrow. And it's going to be 3 parts to the Luminaire class. We are going to start announcing with Kathy Brown a Dream Machine / Stell Air, because they are very much the same. So we'll be doing a Dream Machine class along with a Stell Air. So if you have one of those, stay tuned. That'll be available to register shortly.
She is so good.
We are going to start doing all other machines as well. Some of them will be live like this, and some will be a Zoom type class. Hey, everybody's saying how wonderful it was. You can, if you have questions that we didn't cover, or sometimes the comments on the side of our screen here go by very fast. So if we missed a comment, please don't take offense to that. We want to answer your question. Please just email us so we can get you the answer to your question. And if Jared will put it on camera 1 to show you the little snowman there. That's the applique. I think that, let's see if there's any questions while we're looking at that. Great job, Kay. Thank you, Kay.
Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Jer.
Love this.
Thank you, everyone, for coming and supporting Mulqueens.
Yep, our family thanks you for everything you do to support us. What else do we have coming up? We have in March, we're going to do it'll be March 19th and 20th. You might want to mark your calendars. We're going to go live with 8 different companies. Well, it's not really 8 different companies, but it's 8 segments between the 2 days. But there's one specifically on stabilizer with OESD. And then there's one specifically on OESD designs and thread. And that will be, guess who will be doing that?
Will Jordan be doing that?
Yeah, and Kimberly.
Oh.
So we're excited for that. And then we have the Reliable Iron Company. They have this new light, which they sent us 2 of them. One mounts on, and one it's a flexing lamp. That's all I can show you. But we have 2 brand new lights here and Reliable has a new ironing board. That's like a big board.
A big board?
Yeah, and it's like it'll hold 350 pounds. I don't know why an ironing board needs to.
Ironing board?
Yeah, and it's reasonably priced, so we're excited. But the Reliable Iron Company, they're going to show the steam generator iron, 2 glorious irons that never leak.
Oh, wow.
How many people are tired of Rowenta and irons leaking?
Yes.
They're going to be live. They're in Canada, so they'll be live with us. And we have some surprise guests that are still, we're working out the details, so we're excited for that.
You're a busy boy.
So I guess we just want to thank everybody, right, Kay?
That's it.
Right, Jer? Even though you don't have a microphone, he's shaking his head yes. Oh, this one. I guess I forgot. I guess we are all good, right, Kay?
We're good.
Right, Jer? All right. Well, let's make sure that there was no last questions before we just sign out. Yep, this Lori, this is definitely just, it'll be on our YouTube page for pretty much ever and our Facebook page. Making sure that we're not missing anything, which I think we're good. Christine, we're excited for you to get your scan and cut. Thanks, Alice. If you go to mulqueen.com, Jared, do you want to, is that available? No. So just go to mulqueen.com, and on the very, very home page, the first little square that you see will say event specials. It's the same one that we did last Friday and Saturday. We just added scan and cut to that. And so all of our scan and cut supplies are now there. It'll say live event specials right on the home page. Oh, look at Jer, got it. So if you click on that, click on scan and cut. I highly recommend the playbook. That's probably the most exciting thing that you can get for yourself. Hopefully it's easy to find in there. But the scan and cut playbook basically is every aspect of the scan and cut with videos and written instructions from Cindy Hogan, one of the masters of Brother software and scan and cut. There's the glue pens. I was telling Kay about that because she hasn't tried that yet. We took an embroidery design and drew out, instead of using a pen, we put the glue pen in there, and so it drew the embroidery design in glue onto cardstock, and then we let it dry, and then we put foil on it, gold foil, and then we brayered that down, peeled it off, and the embroidery design was foiled onto the cardstock. And with that, if you have any questions, just email us. Have a good day. Have fun. Thank you from Kay, Jer, Darren, and the Mulqueen family. We'll see you.